Hello, I'm Mohsen Jamal and you watch Afghannews. Authorities say a failed suicide bombing targeting the governor of a provincial in northern Afghanistan has killed a 14-year-old girl. The bomber detonated a suicide vest Tuesday morning outside the office of Parwan provincial government. Abdul Basir Salangi. Salangi was not injured in the attack. Dr. Abdul Khalil Farhangi of the provincial hospital says a 14-year-old girl walking by at the time of the attack was killed while one of Salangi's bodyguards was wounded. But head of the provincial security, Fayez Said Khili, says the 3 policemen and a civilian have been wounded in the attack. Taliban spokesman Zabihullah Mujahid claimed responsibility for the attack in a text message to media. The Obama administration's ties with President Hamid Karzai remain solid despite an unusual public rebuke from the U.S. invite to Kabul. This weekend, Karzai significance of remarks over the weekend by the U.S. Ambassador Carly Canberry, who complained in surprisingly blunt terms about hurtful and inappropriate comments from Afghanistan's political leaders. Hakimi said leaders in Kabul and Washington were working side by side on security, construction and embryonic efforts to negotiate a political settlement with the Taliban. Hakimi acknowledged Karzai had been critical at times, but with good reason. U.S. ties with Karzai may improve when Obama's new ambassador designate Ryan Crocker arrives in Kabul to replace Canberry, whose ties with Karzai were famously strained. U.S. President Barack Obama will announce the size of his drawdown of U.S. troops from Afghanistan on Wednesday, mapping out an end game for a 10-year war that has exacted a fearsome human and financial toll. 2 administration officials speaking on condition of anonymity said Obama would reveal the fruit of his deliberations on a pullback due to begin next month in a pivotal moment for U.S. war strategy and his own political prospects ahead of his re-election bid. The U.S. president must decide the pace and size of reductions to a 30,000-strong troop escalation, which he ordered surged into the conflict in December 2009, a deployment which brought the U.S. garrison to 100,000 soldiers. Obama will be expected to explain to Americans that his surge has roared slow but significant progress, particularly in southern Afghanistan against the Taliban, and 4 shadow operations in key eastern districts. 44 people have been killed after a plane crashed in Karelia, northwest of Russia, citing emergencies ministry officials. Reports said that the plane crash landed on a highway near Petrozavodsk airport en route from Moscow late on Monday. The agency said the plane crashed on the final approach to the airport, ditching a few hundred meters short of the runway. 8 people who survived the crash were said to have been hospitalized and in critical condition. The plane was a Russian-made Tupolev Tu-134, the emergencies ministry said, while confirming on its website that there had been an incident and posted a list of 43 passengers. One suicide bomber blew himself up in at least 1 car bomb exploded outside the Diwania governor's house in Iraq on Tuesday, killing at least 21 people. The attack happened as guards changed shifts at the checkpoint. Most of the victims were bodyguards, officials said. Fazil Mawat, a spokesman for the provincial council, said the initial death toll was 21 killed at a guards checkpoint, while a source at a hospital in Diwania said at least 22 people had been killed and more than 30 wounded in the attack. Karim S. Ghair, the head of the security committee of Diwania Provincial Council, said explosions targeted security personnel as they were checking in for morning duty. Bombings and killings in Iraq have fallen sharply since the height of sectarian violence in 2006 to 2007. The Libyan government has said that 19 civilians were killed in a NATO airstrike on the home of one of Muammar Gaddafi's top officials a day after the Western military alliance admitted an airstrike killed civilians in a separate attack. Libyan officials took reporters to Sarman, 70 kilometers west of Tripoli, to the site of what they said was a NATO airstrike on the home of Holdi Hamidi. The official said the attack on the home of Hamidi, a member of Libya's 12th Strong Revolutionary Command Council led by Gaddafi, took place on Monday morning. NATO said it had bombed a legitimate military target, a command and control node in the area, and it could not confirm whether civilians had been hurt. Bashar al-Assad, Syria's president, has ordered a new general amnesty for all crimes committed in the country up until June 20th in another apparent attempt to calm months of protests against his rule. The state news agency SANA announced the move on Tuesday, nearly a month after Assad issued a similar amnesty for all political crimes. The president ordered a reprieve on May 31st for all political prisoners in the country, including members of the outlawed Muslim Brotherhood. Hundreds of detainees were released, according to rights groups. Tuesday's announcement came a day after Assad addressed the nation in a televised speech in which he acknowledged demands for reform were legitimate, but said saboteurs were exploiting the situation. A Tunisian court on Monday sentenced ousted President Zainal Abidine bin Ali and his wife in absentia to 35 years in jail, each after finding them guilty of theft and unlawful possession of cash and jewelry. Reading out the verdict and sentence in the courtroom after just one day of deliberation, the judge also ruled bin Ali and his wife would have to pay fines totaling $65.6 million. The judge said the verdict on other charges relating to illegal possession of drugs and weapons would be pronounced on June 30th. Bin Ali fled to Saudi Arabia on January 14th in the face of a popular uprising against his 23-year rule and is being tried in absentia by a criminal court over a scores of cases against him and his entourage. And that Hosni Mubarak, the Egyptian president, is suffering from cancer. His defense lawyer has said, citing a medical report that says whether the former Egyptian president is fit enough to stand trial. Farid al-Deeb, Mubarak's lawyer, said on Monday that Mubarak has had cancer since March 2010, but it had been kept a secret. In March 2010, Mubarak underwent surgery in Germany to remove his gallbladder and a growth on his small intestine. Al-Deeb said the cancer had spread to his stomach, causing severe repercussions on his heart and brain vessels. Mubarak, who ruled Egypt for 3 decades, was forced to step down from office in February following a mass uprising inspired by a similar revolt in Tunisia. And that's all for now. Thanks for staying with us.